But there also seems to be a light at the end of the BBI train tunnel, as reports now emerge that the Joint Parliamentary Committee looking into the Constitutional Amendment Bill 2020 is set to resume meetings to finalise the report and eventual tabling in both houses of Parliament. Our very own Kennedy Mureithi is with me in studio for a live update. Mureithi, good to see you. How soon will the committee be meeting?
Well, a very good afternoon to you there, Zainab. And as you've said, there seems actually to be a light at the end of the tunnel, as reports now indicate. What we've been able to gather is that there is a probability that starting this coming week, the committee, that is the joint committee of the Justice and Legal Affairs committees of both houses, that is from the National Assembly and the Senate, might just start some virtual meetings moving forward. And this is what they will be looking at, the report that they were able to stall immediately that President Uhuru Kenyatta put a stop into meetings and also requested Parliament not to have meetings moving forward. But remember, when parliamentarians met, there were some amendments that were able to be made, and these amendments were regarding virtual committee meetings so that there is not so much of a pile-up of what is happening in the committees, and also not to stall Parliament. But what we've been able to gather with regards to this matter is that the meeting between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga that happened earlier in the week, where they both toured a few development projects in a whole day, that had our Ngina Kirori actually follow them through, is that there seems to have been a strike of a deal where they were able to agree on some contentious issues that were there with regards to how do they move forward. We're also able to realize that the main contention, as we do here, is about the entry of the One Kenya Alliance into the fold, and also the relationship between President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga. Remember, these two have been saying that they are the owners of the handshake, and everything that regards the BBI has to revolve around them. So we do understand that the entry of the One Kenya Alliance that had seemed to be favored by President Uhuru Kenyatta may be one of the complications that had stalled the BBI process in Parliament. Remember, Zainab, that one of the questions that were being raised mostly by the senators, that is led by Senator James Orengo, who is the minority leader in the Senate, he was of the view that they cannot have a cosmetic public participation, and thus Parliament had the role to look at some of the changes that needed to be made into that document. But now what we do understand is that a meeting that had been called by Raila Odinga at his home, bringing together the National Executive Committee, may have discussed this issue on the BBI. One of the communiques that came from there and also came into our newsrooms was the fact that they had affirmed their weight on the BBI process and also on the referendum. And the moment they were able to do that, then it unlocked some of the issues that had been said were dogging the whole BBI process. And that is when also President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga also met. Some of the people that we've been speaking to say it is even noted that President Uhuru Kenyatta drove himself all the way to Raila's home, because that day Raila even said that it is President Uhuru Kenyatta mwenye alinitoa kwa kitanda. And people believe that it is President Uhuru Kenyatta who went to him, and they were able to iron out a few issues and also put the BBI train back on its course. Another matter that we were also able to realize, Zainab, when we are talking about the One Kenya Alliance that is bringing together Kalonzo Musyoka, Gideon Moi, Musalia Mudavadi, and Wetangula, is that there were fears within the Odinga camp that these people were going to benefit from the positions that are going to be created in the BBI moving forward. And also this actually made them not so comfortable, because they were of the opinion, the Odinga side was of the opinion, why would we fight, come into a handshake with President Uhuru Kenyatta, fight for a BBI that is going to create more positions in the executive, then hand it over to another team that is calling itself the One Kenya Alliance. This is just political parlance, but what we do know right now is that this process is going to be back on track. Another matter that we've also been able to realize is that most of the senators and members of the National Assembly are undergoing probably this vaccination, and once they are vaccinated, then they will be able to have a meeting probably towards the end of this month, just to make sure that the BBI train is back on track. But also remember that they are saying that most of the things that they wanted to do are mostly finished. Even the report is finished, and one of the things that they want to do is just to tie up a few loose ends, including explaining to them why they are not going to change what had been put in by Chebukati and all that. But in our subsequent bulletins, we'll be putting out all these issues, and probably you could stay here on NTV as we'll be giving you a comprehensive report on what will be happening. But right now, it's back to you, Zainab.